Healthy shame is not about hiding. It's about self-respect and knowing when to hold back. And you sit up here embarrassing yourself online, posting. All you gotta do is take these supplements and your coochie won't stink. When I first started YouTube, I thought being real was the way to go. But what I learned from the past is when I thought I was being real, really all I was doing was oversharing. Can we please bring shame back? Why are you posting everything? I've been seeing girls post BV supplements. Yeah, bacterial vaginosis. Mind you, these girls are like 18 to 21 years old. And I'm not a doctor, so this is all opinion based. But realistically, you're not going to keep getting BV. You're not going to keep having a dry vagina if you just leave it alone. Maybe close your legs, stay off your back, and definitely stop posting it. Like, girl, the reason your coochie stink is because that man is sleeping with other people besides you. And you sit up here embarrassing yourself online, posting. All you gotta do is take these supplements and your coochie won't stink. Y'all, I've been taking these, and let me tell you, ever since I've been taking these supplements, he cannot stay out of it.
I actually do cuss a little.
Do you?
Also, yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl tarienvstweety, and today we are going to talk about bringing shame back. I think this is a conversation that's much needed in our generation and the younger generations. Look, I know that I share a lot of personal stories here, but I share them with a purpose. To empower, not to expose or entertain. In a world where oversharing is almost always expected, I'm here to talk about why protecting certain parts of our lives matters. I don't know about y'all or what y'all TikToks and Instagram feed look like, and I know that like our For You page can be personalized to us, but I don't have these problems. I'm just seeing these commercials and I'm kind of concerned. I literally saw a girl do the room tour of her sneaky link, and I'm like, how bad do we want to go viral that we lose our moral code? And then we got girls casually promoting STI supplements like it's nothing. It's really like shame has disappeared. But y'all, what if some shame is actually to protect us? Let's dig into how to share responsibly, because it's not about hiding who you really are, but it's about choosing to share things that actually empower other people, and not just for entertainment, and not just for clout, and not just to feel like you need to be real. You can be real and still keep some privacy. Very demure, very classy, very mindful. Okay, what is shame? Shame is that feeling that you get when you've done something wrong, embarrassing, or just simply out of line of what others think is acceptable. It could even be what you know is not right. Shame is more like you yourself feeling like you did something that doesn't really fit your true character or who you are trying to be. You know, feeling shameful and too much of it can be harmful, but a little bit can go a long way. It actually keeps us safe and connected to the people around us. When we feel a little bit of shame, this is our mind's way of telling us, hey, this action may have an impact on me and those that I care about. I don't know if you watched that show, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, but the girl on there, one of these companies sent her a sex toy to promote, and she was getting paid 20 grand. And I ain't finna turn 20 grand down, right? I think that she kept questioning, like, she asked her mom and her sister, she was like, you know, what would you think of me if I did this? That is an example of shame. If I could find that clip, I'm gonna put it in here.
Being a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I know it's a whole mouthful. My family is very conservative. My family's family is very conservative. Of course, it's gonna weigh into my decision whether or not I'm gonna promote a vibrator. I'm just trying to figure out, is this a gray area or is this an absolute do not promote this?
So, Mom and Lexi, I'm curious to know your point of view on this too. I got a really juicy brand deal for a vibrator.
Okay.
Just to promote it on my social media.
Why would you do that?
Well, one, the money's really good. And two, I feel like I can go about it where it's like empowering. You don't think it's like empowering?
No.
Why?
Do you like that?
like matches your platform though? Because you're all like, oh my god, kids, homemaking, vibrator.
I mean, yeah, like, let's empower each other.
But
Let's
I don't
empower.
think it does match.
I just think a lot of that is private, personal.
But I wanted to, because I didn't want it to be shunned. It's like, if you need this tool to enjoy intimacy with your partner more, like, there shouldn't be shame around it. Do you feel like there is with the church in sex toys?
Probably, yeah. I think it's a personal thing between you and your partner.
What if you were single?
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
You think that it should be a no-no?
I think when you're seeking pleasure, it can just get out of hand.
Sex can be viewed in religion as like disgusting. But times are changing. It's a new generation coming in with mom talk. We're here, we're embracing our sexuality. It's empowering and it's exciting and it's fun.
I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna promote the vibrator. You hate it. You hate it so much.
Well, there's lots of things I don't agree with, but that's okay.
The cycle ends here. I'm going to have this conversation because it needs to be had.
Maybe I'll send you one.
It's okay. You don't need to send me one.
I think that she felt a certain type of shame because she knows that selling sex toys doesn't fit who she is. She's a Mormon wife. Why would I be selling and promoting sex? And she also knew that promoting sex toys was going to have a negative impact on her family. She knew that people were going to look at her husband like, her husband lets her sell sex toys. She knew that people were going to look at her mom and her sister as like, oh, this is who you were associated with. I actually went through something like this in college. I was roommating with a girl. She had a situation to where I don't even know if it's facts or not. What I heard, you know, there was a train ran on her. There was some other stuff with like some football players. And mind you, I went to LSU my first year of college. So baby football, you know, go Tigers. The next day I moved out of the dorm with her because I didn't want to be associated with the thing that she was ashamed about. I don't want my name tarnished or people thinking something about me because I'm roommating with her. Even if it's a rumor, you don't even want to be associated with it. So in a way, shame can actually really guide us in a way that serves to savor our relationships, our reputation, and our self-respect. It's really your intuition. Shame is kind of like an inner compass. It just steers you in the right direction. For my viewers, I just want you to know, experiencing a little bit of shame can be helpful as you learn what really matters to you. It can help you become more aware of the values that you want to live by. As you figure out what works for you and what doesn't, what feels right for you and what does not feel right for you, shame can be like an alarm. It just keeps you from straying too far from your true values. I know I share a lot on this channel. When I first started YouTube, I thought being real was the way to go. I was just sharing everything without hesitation. And my content still relies heavily on my personal stories. But what I learned from the past is when I thought I was being real, really all I was doing was oversharing, thinking that it was gonna build some type of trust between me and my audience. When really nobody was watching. Those who were watching, because trust me, it's gonna be somebody watching. Somebody who is waiting for you to say something so they can use it against you. So some of the details that I did share left me feeling exposed, vulnerable to misunderstandings, and basically judged by people who didn't even know me. Luckily for me, those videos did not get a lot of attention, so I was able to delete them.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Lesson learned. That experience taught me that a little self-restraint can be self-protection. And you know, boundaries matter. Y'all, I noticed that when I was oversharing at first on YouTube, when I started dating, I noticed that guys would go literally find my YouTube. Like, it would usually be in my bio on like Instagram anyway. But it's like, these guys would be wanting to get to know me through the internet. So they would kind of get like a debrief about me before they even met me in person, right? And this is like where boundaries really matter, especially in dating, because too much openness can really be used against you later on. And stay tuned, because I'm going to share a story of how my lack of shame hurt me badly here. Today, I'm still authentic with y'all on my channel, just with a little bit more balance, a little bit more grace. Very demure, very classy, very mindful. You know, I choose stories that empower without sacrificing my peace, my privacy, nor exposing those who were or are associated with me. Because baby, don't give these people no clout. Healthy shame is not about hiding. It's about self-respect and knowing when to hold back. So let's break down shame into 3 contexts: social media, dating, and professional life. Let's start with social media. In a digital age, social media has transformed how we share our lives. We post everything. We're cooking together. We're sharing our room tours, our home tours. You see it every day. But it has also blurred the lines of personal lives and privacy. I've seen so many girls on TikTok like share the little slideshow of how they went through these toxic relationships. They had the baby. The boy left. She signed a car for him. All type of crazy stories, and they're sharing it on social media. And it's like, where are the personal boundaries? And then after you get all those likes, what do you expect to happen? One video in particular that made me like, just pushed me to make this video today is this one.
Take a shot if you willing to get shitted on for some money. I was just
ain't
talking
never
about
been
this.
that serious. You know, it's one
How
thing.
much money?
You getting shit on?
Hey, how much money?
Girl, you
Carisha,
not.
be quiet. If a nigga come up to you, right?
I'm not shit. Maybe P, but not shit. I'm not letting no nigga shit on me.
He
Shit.
tell you I give you.
A nigga fart around me and I be. Boy, why the fuck would you do that?
If a nigga for the right price.
What's the price?
Hey, Tucson. So like you said you're gonna give me $750,000. About where exactly do you want to shit at? No shit for you. You're gonna wipe that shit off and suck it up.
Girlies, we're gonna think we have an outbreak, but really it's just an ingrown hair. We're herpes girlies. We're gonna stress about telling partners, but when we do tell them, they're actually really cool with it. We're herpes girlies. We're gonna explain to you time and time again that cold sores are herpes. We're herpes girlies. We're gonna fight against the misinformation around herpes with facts. We're herpes girlies. We're still gonna be picky about who we date. We're herpes girlies. We're gonna call out anyone who perpetuates the stigma. We're herpes girlies. We're gonna talk about the fact that HSV1 and HSV2 are both herpes. We're herpes girlies. Sometimes we might not be so picky about who we date. We're herpes girlies. We're hot because our status has nothing to do with our worth.
No, let's take a moment and ponder upon that. And not only that, I've seen girls openly getting ready for their D appointments. Literally, having a whole get ready with me.
Okay, TikTok, so this is a little bit of a different conversation and topic. Grown audience only, honey. I'm going to give you tips and tricks to spice it up in the bedroom with your man, your stinky link, your ex. I don't care. Your one night stand. I don't care. For your D appointment, honey. Number 1, I need you to go ahead and drink lots of water. What that does is that's going to make your inside fluids smell like nothing. 2, you could do the fruit thing, the pineapple. Yeah, go ahead. Also, I need you to go ahead and literally say your, like, I call them D appointment affirmations or like coochie affirmations. I'm going to go ahead and name 3 for you. He is obsessed with this cootie cat. My vajayjay smells and tastes amazing. My body is healthy and cleansed and it looks beautiful. When you have that ultimate confidence in the bedroom, it doesn't matter what your body looks like. Literally, men get so attracted by that shit. I need you to go ahead and bust out all the tricks, honey. I'm talking about, like, girl, if you could do a handstand on that D, do a handstand on the D. Use a lubricated oil that's a little scented because it's just going to make your vajayjay smell amazing. So, another thing that men really like, they love for you to boost their ego. So talk to him in the bedroom. Be like, oh my God, it's so good. Do. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to be too rated R on here. Stroke his ego. Like, literally, I don't even care. Like, if it's not even good, joke around and just stroke his ego because it's just going to make it better.
Or even worse, seeing these girls give tours of their sneaky links room.
This bitch pressure. Man, it's fucking bad pressure right here. I swear to God. And the Wi-Fi jumping in this bitch. I'm finna start coming over here.
Stay tuned for the dating part of this video because some of y'all don't have no ops. Your ops are the girls that you are sleeping with. You're thinking with the wrong head. Now, while these girls, these people's intention may be to create a sense of community online and make us more aware about sexual health, this trend actually really does raise concern about the implications of oversharing. Are we truly empowering ourselves or anybody else? Or are we exposing our vulnerabilities for the sake of being real? As we dive deeper into this discussion, we really need to consider how these narratives shape our thinking when it comes to dating, relationships, sexual health, and so on. Oh, and most importantly, self-respect. All right, let's move on to number 2, dating. Okay, so y'all know how I mentioned those TikToks where it's the stories, the photo story slides, and the girl is telling how, you know, she went through this toxic relationship, back and forth, she left them, went back, moved here, went there, ghosted her, had a baby with somebody else, she still took him back. Some of y'all want to move on. Some of y'all complaining online about being single or guys are only putting you in a certain category. Maybe that's because you put too much of what you went through online. If you're a guy and you're still watching, now is your time. When women overshare personal details, this is a red flag. For example, like showcasing their sneaky links room, or your possessions. Whole time you wondering, how did I get robbed? Maybe because you online date and you just fell asleep after you busted your nut, and now people that you don't even know where you live and know everything that's in your home. When girls do this, not only does it reflect a lack of shame, but it also poses a real risk to you guys. This can be dangerous. I don't know if this is a quote, but I always hear people saying most guys lose their life over coochie. We've seen it in so many movies to where a guy will send one of his finest 304s to you to see what you got going on so they can rob you. And some of you guys gonna fall for it every time. So much openness about our personal lives can blur the lines of trust and respect in relationships. It raises serious red flags about boundaries and how much we respect a person's privacy in their personal space. If you're navigating in the world of online dating and sneaky links or casual hookups, casual sex, then you really need to think twice. If someone is always oversharing publicly on social media, what makes you think that they're going to protect your peace? What makes you think they have the ability, the capacity to protect y'all's connection? All right, now let's dig a little deeper into that dating part. Okay, ladies, it's our turn now. I know we can overshare easily. Like, I don't know why we do this. Sometimes we just be like, oh my gosh, like I just feel like I need to be real. Don't. What is it called? Your mysterious girl era. Be in that era, like, for the rest of your life. You don't need to share every detail, especially if you're just getting to know somebody. I know a lot of women who go on a date and they just overshare everything. They'll open up about their past relationships thinking that it'll foster trust and intimacy with their new partner. Whole time he just writing that down in his mental notebook in the file cabinet with the folder with your name on it as leverage to use later. I learned this the hard way when I was dating a guy and I told him about my previous relationship. Initially, I thought that sharing with him about my toxic relationship in the past was my way of being vulnerable with him, as a way for him to be vulnerable with me too. But one day we got into an argument, and when I tell y'all, he threw it back in my face like, this is why you act like this, because you used to toxic. Like, literally running me down. Everything that I told him about my ex, he just threw it back in my face. And I'm like, okay. And y'all, me being a content creator and I'm sharing my personal stories with y'all, if somebody comes and tries to throw something in my face that I'm literally sharing to empower somebody, that's not going to affect me. And it really kind of makes them look slow because I'm sharing it to help other people. But if you share something with somebody and it's outside of you sharing it with multiple people, like on YouTube, be prepared for that information that you share with them to backfire on you. We see this all the time with celebrities. Things that they discuss outside of the public can come out because they be like, oh, I had a conversation with so-and-so and this happened. Or somebody leaks their music that's inside their crew. Let's take people's lesson and use them as leverage to already be ahead of the game. And when I share my personal stories with y'all, use those moments where I did lack shame and I learned from it to help you not to make those same mistakes. You know, sharing your story can create a connection, but there is a fine line. Revealing too much too soon can risk you losing control over how that information is even perceived. It's crucial to assess how well you know somebody before sharing such personal information. And y'all, this goes for friends, family, co-workers. Your co-workers most of the times are not your friends, okay? If there's a situation where they gotta rat you out for a bonus, you will be ratted out. Now I know there's some people that you're around every day, you feel like, you know, I'm with this person every day, they wouldn't say nothing. But y'all, it be the ones closest to you that really may surprise you. Some of your friends that you haven't talked to in a long time, but maybe y'all used to talk a lot, they have friends too, so they could be telling your business to their other close friends. There's family who feel like, oh well, girl, you know I ain't mean nothing by it. You know how they feel like it's innocent gossip. They wasn't really talking about you, they was just saying. Co-workers and stuff that you see every day that you're building a connection with, like we're at work more than we're at home, but at the same time, y'all, co-workers are not your friends. And we'll say that for another video. I know it can be easy to want to vent to a co-worker. I have been guilty of this. By maintaining boundaries and being selective about what you share can protect you. And it can just foster healthy relationship dynamics. You don't have to worry about your co-worker exposing you if y'all don't even talk about that. Y'all just keep it about work. Talk about the printer messing up or something. Don't talk about personal life. Just leave it out. And it's definitely perfectly acceptable for you to keep certain parts of your past private as well, especially in the early stages of a new connection. Balancing openness and discretion is key. You want to make sure your relationships remain safe and respectful. Sensitive topics like your past sexual experiences, your personal health matters, your personal sexual health are best kept private until a deeper connection is established. And y'all, you shouldn't be on your back anyway to even have to worry about somebody's sexual health. You shouldn't even be on your back when you first meet somebody and now you got to take a BV supplement because now you fishy because you don't even know this person. And also, why y'all not using protection? Oh, my bad. I forgot. Because then they be, oh, the girls be like, oh, well, the condoms caused me BV too. Okay, well, at this point, I'm starting to think BV stand for believe me when I tell you to leave the D alone. Clearly, it's not for you. Your body is not registering. It's not, what's not clicking, Steven? And lastly, professional life. As a teacher, I know firsthand that my students are always finding me online. My coworkers and colleagues are also probably going to run into me online. They're probably going to see some places where I share my personal experiences, like here on YouTube. And this awareness really shapes how I choose to reveal certain things. It is important to recognize that while vulnerability can foster connections and understanding, it also carries risk, especially in your professional life. Now, sharing personal stories can resonate with others and just make you feel more human, like as a professional. Especially for me as a teacher, it just makes me more human. Like, I'm still a human outside of a teacher. I'm not just teacher all day 25/8. However, being that my students find me online, I have to balance this with my students and even with my colleagues or my boss that may find my content. They may interpret that information that I share in ways that I cannot control. For example, when I express my struggles or my past experiences, I risk my students viewing me more as a peer. I already look like I'm their age, so when they find me on YouTube and stuff and Instagram, like, I always have to break the conversation down to them like, look, I can't control what y'all do, but for one, if a teacher comes and follow you on social media, you already know that how that can be perceived. Again, you can't control how somebody is going to perceive that information. Okay, so think about it in that way. If a teacher goes and follows a student, you're going to perceive the information as, oh, she's weird. Why is she following a young kid? Like, what? But when a student comes and follow me, it's like, oh, look what my teacher is doing, like, to expose it. So it's like, you can't control the way people are going to perceive the information that you share. So for me, Luckily, a lot of the content that I share is to empower people. Usually my students don't even tell me that they watch my content because they know that I'm gonna hold them accountable and be like, oh, okay, so what did you actually learn from me? Because I saw you walking that boy to class. And the little boys probably don't want to say nothing because they probably gonna be like, wow, she's probably really telling the truth, and I don't want my girlfriend to see this because then she's gonna stop being dumb. And I be praying that some of their mamas actually watch the content. Like, baby, if you take his phone and your son or your daughter is watching me, watch the video for yourself. Like the video, subscribe, share, Bookie, because the way y'all kids out here acting, it seems like you need to tap in. As far as my professional reputation, you know, my boss could find me online. Employers could find me online. And this could affect the way that I'm perceived in my professional life. And this could make them want to evaluate my professionalism and my suitability for my roles. So this just means I have to be cautious about what I do share, because oversharing and a lack of shame can lead to misunderstandings, and it could jeopardize my credibility as an educator. This is a valuable lesson not only for me, but for my students and for y'all who are watching. In a world where social media often blurs the lines of privacy, it is crucial to teach our youth, our students, our kids, ourselves about the importance of discretion and how their online presence can affect their future. You know, once you post something, y'all, it's never going away. Even though I deleted those videos, I wouldn't be surprised if one of my hidden haters somewhere has the videos recorded. Like, once it's out there, it's out there. And this is really important in professional settings, because we see so many people on TikTok now posting all these things with lack of shame, and it's like, y'all have to get older. Y'all are going to want to advance in y'all careers and things. And I know right now it seems like the trendy thing to do, but later on, you can't control how that's going to be perceived. I remember people making mistakes back in high school, and I still cannot shake that they're wives now. Like, you was the biggest thotty in school. Like, how were you a housewife? Like, you know what I'm saying? We can't control the way people gonna perceive us, even if we've changed our whole life around. And especially in our professional life. We just have to encourage them to think critically about what they post and how it reflects on their personal brand. Speaking of brands, y'all shop the brand more than average, okay? Because we wear crowns over here. My crown may tilt, but it'll never fall off. So y'all, as a teacher, I understand that my students and my colleagues may run into my content online. And some of the content's where I share vulnerable stories, because again, a lot of my content is about personal development. So I do share a lot of my personal stories. But it's crucial for me to strike a balance between authenticity and professionalism. Like Tarian versus Tweety. I think Tweety would be more of my vulnerable side and Tarian would be more of my professional side. So by pursuing my passion of personal development while remaining aware of my teaching role, I can actually encourage my students and my colleagues to embrace their interests without the fear of judgment. It's important to remember that pursuing your passion, it doesn't diminish your professional identity. Y'all, people are gonna judge you whether you are doing right or wrong. But focusing on the positive impact of your passions can help alleviate these feelings of doubt you may have. Building resilience against judgment of others helps you to stay true to who you are and your interests. And ultimately, engaging in passions outside of work actually does enrich our lives and enhances our professional environment. I don't know about y'all, but when I do a video, when I come home from work and I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I still gotta cook dinner, I still gotta be a mom, I still got to do all my stuff, but I still make time for what I love to do and I like to do. I love teaching, but I also like making personal development content. So when I'm able to still pour my energy into me and my passions, I actually show up at work as a better person, because I don't feel like I'm giving my all to work. I'm not giving my all to a job, and then I end up hating my job because I'm not able to give to myself. We wear crowns over here, point blank period. Embracing our passions and sharing our stories can empower others, but it's essential to do so with intention. Today, we explored such a necessary conversation. We explored the balance of authenticity and professionalism, understanding that while vulnerability can connect us, oversharing can blur important lines. And shame. Even though it's often seen negative, it serves as your protective guidance to make choices that align with your values. Whether it's social media, dating, or your professional life, recognizing where to draw the line is crucial. Ultimately, it's about expressing ourselves while also respecting ourselves and others. Remember, we can share authentically without compromising who we are. You are more than average. You are not like the other ones. You are not like the normal people. If you're watching this video today, you are not like the average. You're more than average. You're not normalizing this toxic, sexy red behavior of wearing lip glosses named after STDs because you want to keep it real and go with the trends, not knowing how that's going to backfire later on down the line. You're not like the average, baby. So wear your crown with pride and let's continue this journey of leveling up together. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share, subscribe. Also, leave some comments below. Tell me some things that you guys have been seeing on TikTok, on Instagram, on X, YouTube. Share with me some things that you've been seeing that have been some trends that you feel like we really do need to bring shame back. Again, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys on the next one.